The message I think that the song conveys in relation to the images is that it was a long road to travel for people of colour back in the 60s, for them to achieve what they wanted to achieve. And here we are, nearly 60 years after the riots in Harlem. A lot has changed, and yes, I understand that some people might say that they aren't there yet, and that more needs to be done, but it's got to bring them some peace of mind knowing that we are heading in the right direction, so to speak, in terms of change being brought forward for people of a different ethnic minority. In relation to film language, the fundamentals of it include the camera angle, the focal point and movements, the setting, lighting, audio and music, as well as the post-production and performance. With camera angles in particular, various angles can attach and influence different meanings and levels of participation for the audience. Deciding on the correct angle of the camera for every shot can attach moods to the footage and create strong relationships with your viewers. Film languages includes the types of shots being used, what can be seen in the frame, conversations between characters, an actor's facial expressions, the choices of the director, camera actions, lighting, audio and style of editing. It helps promote the growth of both the narrative and the story behind it. It is a key method in directing and can help make a movie successful when used correctly.
Are you certain?
And you don't forget a beating like that.
So you're certain that these three men beat you and the others?
Yes, I'm certain. Up until some army guy pulled me in a room and told me to lie still. Then I heard him go out and tell him I was dead.
And this is what's being referred to as the death game? What did you see next?
I didn't see nothing lying face down on the floor, but I heard Aubrey yell, "Don't shoot." And he shot, I heard that.
Your witness, counsel.
Now, we've already talked to your cohort friend Lee about his criminal past. Have you ever had trouble with the law?
I'm not on trial here.
No need to introduce new crimes, sir, just the ones already known. Or maybe you can start by telling us, how did the night begin? Party, few drinks?
Man, why? Why y'all talking about me at all? Man, y'all see a black man in court and assume I'm the one on trial. Man, they killed my friends, man. They beat us. Lined us up and abused us, and y'all doing the same thing. Man, there's no justice here, man. Go fuck yourself, man.
I think what is clear here, Your Honor, is that these men were under an intolerable situation. They were under this duress, which we say was inherent, and for that reason had no other choice.
All right. All they had to do was keep quiet. If they kept quiet, they wouldn't be here today. But they made a statement, and that statement should be admissible.
Not if they were made under duress, Your Honor. Not if the taking of those statements violates constitutional rights.
These policemen were owed an obligation, advising them that they had a right to remain silent, they had a right to counsel, and that anything they said could be used against them in a court of law. I don't think these defendants, because they're police officers, have any right to expect anything more from us, but they have a right under the Constitution not to settle for anything less. I therefore rule the statements inadmissible.
So unfortunately, that is the end of this week's episode in the podcast. Thank you for joining me, but before I go, let's just do a quick review of what we've gone over today. Today, we've gone over genre studies and auteur theory, as well as the key elements of both topics and differences. We also looked at the essentials of film language within the areas that relate to my new movie, Harlem. And before that, we discussed the auteur that I had chosen for the previous film studies task in Catherine Bigelow, why I decided to create Harlem, and why I decided to implement the genres of documentary and biopic. For next week's episode, we'll be talking about another auteur in Edgar Wright, but until then, it's goodbye from me for now.
When I was very young, I would make these kind of like sort of genre like parodies. And because I'm like a kid that grew up in a small town in England, is this thing about like the reinterpretation of Hollywood movies.
Dead Right was my attempt at doing a Dirty Harry film. In fact, the title, Dead Right, is the working title for Dirty Harry.
I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5?
Just know, yeah,